Alrighty then, back once again for another reaction. This time it's RWBY Volume 4 Chapter 11, Taking Control, which is the penultimate episode of the volume. I am doing both this and episode 12 tonight, hopefully. And I am super concerned because I don't think I quite realised in the previous episode that the Nukkalavi, however it's pronounced, is directly on its way to Kuroyuri. I didn't quite catch that last time. I failed to notice Kuroyuri was within the field of vision that the monster was stomping towards, and that was why Ren said no. Like, he's gonna watch something else disappear in front of him, which is his friends. It reminds me of Blake saying, "Not again." And some people brought up the fact that Nora, as an orphan that wasn't from Kuroyuri that showed up in the flashback, could have just come from the previous town that monster wrecked and tried to find a safe shelter in that village, and it followed her because of all her negative emotion or something. That was interesting to think about and kind of sad, because if she ever thought of it like that, that's one hell of a guilt trip. But yeah, so John and RWBY, this thing could wipe out entire villages by itself, and it's likely existed for so long that, much like the Goliath, it's gained a higher intelligence. That is why it's so brazenly going around attacking everything. It has nothing really to fear. It's like become so strong and so wise. It's like come full circle, like how Oobleck said that the Goliaths were watching and waiting for the right time to strike, because if we kill a human, more will come and will eventually die. I think this is an exceptional creature because it's damn hard to kill, just from how horrific it's implied to be. Yeah, I think that this creature does not fear being attacked, as intelligent as it is. It will come for you because it knows it can kick your ass, and that is one of the most terrifying kinds of threats. This puts you in an Outlast situation. The very thing it tells you at the start: you cannot fight, you can only run or hide or die. Ugh. That is what this creature feels like. That is how high tier this monster is, and two kids fresh out of school, I don't think they're going to be able to do that. You know, I think some plot MacGuffin has to happen to get them out of that situation without the Grimm being killed and lessening its threat value. If they find an acceptable way to do it, that's fine, but I'm just saying, based on general expectations before going into this, I do not for 1 second expect this creature to be beaten, suffer any loss of any kind, save for the fact that everyone's going to get away. Some people have made me worried though, because they say now that Ren's flashback has happened and we know pretty much everything about him and who he is now, his plot armor is gone. That is finito. It's done. Because Nora is the one left with story before she met Ren, and she can tell his story after. But Ren is about to come face to face with the demon that started his story, so people are obviously, it's over now, so everybody knows what happened as of me recording this. But obviously I can only watch reactions to episodes that I've already seen, and from what I was seeing at the time when those episodes were coming out on the very day that the actual episodes did, people were very afraid for Ren, and I'm sharing that fear now. Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot. You've done me a real service there. Really proud of you. So I can only hope that doesn't happen. Though someone also pointed out that Nukkalavi has some sort of poisonous breath, and Thor, whom Nora is based on, is supposed to have died from poison at some point. So there's people fearing that Nora will inhale some of this toxic vapor and she'll be the one to die in a twist. I don't want any of Ranger to die, thank you very much. They are all precious kids trying to figure out what to do, and their journey has been incredible. to watch unfold, and how they're showing how much they've grown as characters. I still say that John's pep talk to RWBY is one of his best moments in the show so far, because it also brings back around how RWBY gave him a pep talk when he became leader of Juniper. So, Ren and Nora are all the way up the mountain, so I wonder if they can get to Kuroyuri in time, or if they'll have to join mid-battle. And something else that concerns me is that Crow, being in the condition that he is, he's like dead weight in this fight. It's like, how are they going to protect him against this gargantuan threat that's coming onto them? It's worrying, very. But what's also worrying is this is just the penultimate episode, so how can things step up? I can only assume that half of the fight is going to get cut off because Cinder is in the thumbnail, and she's got a smile on her face, which is good because she's had a bit of a sulk and angry going on for this volume because she's stuck in her recovery phase and not being able to do much and being mocked by her betters and things like that. You know, it's like paradise isn't all it's cracked up to be for an evil witch, you know. So I'm wondering what's going to happen now that we're getting another look at the villains side of things. I know that we saw Hazel either on his way to or back from the meeting with the leader of the White Fang, but yeah, well, I assume with several weeks passing, he was on his way back. So this might be him returning and sharing what he was told or something. And yeah, who knows, this may be even where they get their plans together for how they're going to attack Haven, which Team Ranger are supposed to be on their way to, if not for the interruption by all this Crow business. And, of course, being attacked by the Nukulevi. Yeah. I think I've said everything I wanted to get out of the way. And I'm supposed to say to make this official, to quote Star Butterfly, so I want to dive right into this, so that's what we're going to do. Starting off with the villains. Gladiatorial style combat. I assume she's training up her strength again. Oh! You just port gas de-aced him.
Enough. I thought you were the girl that wanted power. Did you lie to me?
Well, she has somewhat been crippled.
Then stop holding back. If you wish to master your new powers, you must...
Is Hazel back? Oh, no, Tyrian! The wounded Tyrian. Oh, poor thing. Well, I don't actually feel sorry for you, but I can sympathize with the pain.
Please, forgive me.
Tyrian. Your task. Were you successful?
Well, what do you think "please forgive me" means?
But hope is not lost. My tail, my stinger, I poisoned him. Crow. He will not be a nuisance to you any longer. No longer. I've done that. Have I done well? Have I pleased you?
What do you think, dude? You failed.
Last eye is blinded. You disappoint me.
Okay. Alright, you got off lightly, dude. I feared she was gonna hurt you. Though I assume that that's still bad emotionally. Especially when things like that can detect it. Wow, he is so unhinged. In this sort of light, I do feel sorry for him. I'm being reminded of Wolverine in that X-Men anime. He was slashing at that corpse after he'd already beaten him. Oh, at least that's cheered you up, buddy. But yeah, you're not in the good graces anymore. Which is still better than you could have hoped. I do think that a lot of people would have been expecting worse. Oh, that is very good. Reminds you of the Ember Silica. And here's Bumblebee. It does look a lot better with the gold.
I don't remember saying that you were ready.
You may need to take your test again.
You gonna try and stop me?
No. I think I'm still too sore after our last fight.
Oh.
I just wanted a better goodbye than a letter.
Oh.
And I also have a question for you.
Oh, okay. I'll wait to say what I have to say.
Where are you going?
What do you mean?
Well, despite asking him numerous times not to, I know that Crow told you where your mother's been at these days. I know how much you want to see her. I've stopped you in the past.
But you're an adult now.
And we both read the note. We know your sister is headed to Mistral. So, where are you going?
I see. Go to Mother or go to RWBY? I'm thinking with the way that was set up, she's going to RWBY. And she's on a bike, which is pretty quick. So I'm hoping we might get a last minute save from Yang then in the finale. That's what I'm banking everything on now. Okay, what I was gonna say, which that overtook me, that like silenced me for a minute. I was gonna ask Tai Yang, is he gonna go after RWBY now he has nothing to look after? But evidently Yang might do that.
Master Whitley, yes, of course. I'll be just a moment. Head to the first floor library. I'll meet you there.
Okay. The big sneaky plan to leave the manor.
You need to control yourself. You're talking to me.
Oh, Ironwood's back.
Do you even hear what you're saying? I am basing everything on my reports from your daughter. A daughter you stole. But we are not getting into that again. Oh yes, we have far more pressing matters to discuss, starting with your apparent lunacy. Doc!
The implications of him saying stole, like she's property.
Winter is one of my best. If she's telling me there's a threat in Mistral, then I'm not going to take that news lightly.
She's been there for weeks. People are mobilizing, sudden spikes in weapons and dust trade. Someone is about to make a play, and I do not trust Leo to stop them. You've never trusted anyone other than yourself. And for good reason!
Oh,
If Oz had just listened to me from the start.
You need to get a grip.
That's exactly what I'm doing. Our
Wow.
people need protection. By this time next week, the Kingdom of Atlas will be officially closing its borders. No one in, no one out.
so Weiss
Council's permission.
might be just in time. Cross that border before it's sealed off and Daddy can't chase you.
And if that becomes the case, I would think you'd want to be on my good side.
Ironwood is such a boss and I love it. He's the only man in the world right now, aside from if Crow was in the room, who can put this guy in his place. That is fantastic.
It's locked.
What are you talking about?
Well, I assume that even though Ironwood would let her go, his exclamation, Miss Schnee, would instantly alert his father. Her father. Oh!
Keep your voice down, I told you.
Grumpy! We Scooby-Doo now with these passages.
Are you sure Mistral is safe?
No. But it's where I'll find Winter.
And safe or not, anywhere's better than here.
Family you have left after tonight.
I'll always have you.
Oh!
You most certainly will. Go. Now.
You should take Klein with you. He deserves better than to work here.
Thank you, Klein.
Unless he's got a family that his wages for. I'd understand. That I would be tempted to go with her. Like, I just want to leave this stupid place. Yeah, there we go. I knew you wouldn't die, but that was a heavy hit.
This is why, son. This is why I left them all behind.
Yeah.
What are you...
I knew that from the start, but...
Where am I?
I am done seeing my friends hurt because of me.
Blake.
Shut up! Do you think I like being alone? Every day I think about them. RWBY, Weiss, Yang.
Oh,
They were
that
my
choke in her
friends.
voice when she said
I
Yang.
love them like I never thought I could love anybody. And I hope they hate me for leaving.
Oh no, Blake, come on.
I
Oh,
don't mean that.
Yes, I do!
you don't.
Everyone thinks they can help me, but they can't. You saw Ilya last night, and she's not even the worst. No. No more. They're better off without me. I
Oh,
made my
shit.
choices, and I'll deal with the consequences.
So this
because
incident
they
has
were
only
wrong
made her
to
double
me.
down.
You're being selfless, but you're not. Yeah. That chameleon friend of yours got me pretty good. But I'd do it all again if it meant protecting you.
Oh.
And I can promise Yang would say the same. You can make your own choices, sure. But you don't get to make ours.
Hmm.
When your friends fight for you, it's because we want to.
Hey, this is
Stop pushing us
mirroring what John said.
That hurts more than anything the bad guys could ever do to us.
Yeah, we're here because we choose to be.
But if it makes you feel any better, the next time I go up against Lizard Girl, it won't be for you. It'll be to get even.
My hero. Oh dear, would you look at that? He's awake. Thank goodness.
Carl, please.
That was fun.
Hey, Mrs. B.
Mrs.
What
B.
are you doing?
Well, sweetheart, your father needed to speak with the two of you.
Huh?
I'm afraid you were right to be suspicious.
Oh, they looked over the scroll.
What do you mean?
Adam Taurus is planning to overthrow the leader of the White Fang and stage a full-scale attack on Haven Academy. It will be the fall of Beacon all over again.
Yeah.
Not if we destroy the White Fang, once and for all.
No. We're not going to destroy the White Fang. We're going to take it back.
Yeah, yeah. That definitely sounds better. Wow, you two, very quick.
Not again.
Yeah, not again, like I was saying.
What are you guys doing here?
Did you hear that noise? What was that?
No.
Ren, what is it?
Is it right behind them?
Do you guys hear that?
Clop, clop.
No.
And Ren is broken. That ain't good. Noxious breath. Unless that's just smoke. If you were to open a dictionary and look up whatever you'd use to describe that it's like a whole other unsettling. It's like a whole other uncomfortable. It's like to settling. It's unsettleable. It feels so wrong. Like that like bald head just behind that mask, and how everything was red. Top tier design, but it is damn creepy. That is not cool. That is horrifying, and I see why so many people were saying that the Nuka-Lave is supposed to be this like horror, that one of the worst beasts that there is. I believe it, and this has age, experience, it's vastly powerful. Like I say, these guys are up shit creek now. They need something to come and save them. And I think that since the fight hasn't started yet, I think Yang is already on her way, and she might just get there, if that's what we're going for. You see, I have no idea. But I do think with 90% certainty that the fact that they brought it up as a choice for Yang to go after her mother or go after RWBY, at this point, she knows what's important to her, and she will be going to make sure her sister is okay. That is definitely what I think. But seeing Ren like just start breaking, that is heartbreaking. And it was cool to see Sun get a bit of a redeeming moment. I know some people were giving him some stick for the more comedic role he's taken this season, even though he was comedic before. They said his fighting skill seems to have suffered a bit, and is like a bit more clueless of his surroundings, and like being a bit more of a bumbling idiot than a funny idiot. And I see what people were saying, but I hope that this won some people back over to Sun's side, because that was a pretty good talk towards Blake. I mean, I don't think it holds a candle to what John said, but it was still pretty effective. And I really love that they brought the door joke back. I mean, this wasn't a rule of 3 or anything, but making it happen again seemed to make it funnier. Especially because it was the mum that did it. She is adorable. Carly, was it? I think she's one of the best mums we've seen so far. I want to scratch her behind the ears. She's really good. Yeah. So I assume that the bulk of next time is going to be the fight against the Nuka-Lave, and it's called No Save Haven. So Haven Academy will be involved somehow or something? Or will the headmaster of Haven intervene somehow and take them back to Haven as a shelter? I don't know. Or maybe after all this has happened, with RWBY and the rest of Team Ranger like out of commission with this fight, we might see the fall of Haven without them even getting to it. Like, this might be another failure to notch up, like they never even reached Haven. That would be original, but yeah, that title intrigues me, and I'm kind of glad that Tyrian didn't get killed off so easily. Fair enough, I thought he was going to get punished. I thought something was going to happen, but I didn't want him to die. But like, even less than that, he just got a telling off, and you know, she said she was disappointed in him, and fair enough, that was as bad a punishment as any for someone who idolizes her as a goddess. But he cheered himself up, and like I say, there are villains that would do way worse to you, so he did get a good deal. But I have to wonder what his role is from here on out. If he can't regrow his stinger, because Salem certainly didn't offer to, and I've heard that scorpions can't regrow their tails naturally, which is also a part of their asshole, so that could be a complication. Yeah. I like how this frame I paused on of Klein has him noted as Lil Pudgy. Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of pudge. But yeah. I just want to jump straight into the next episode right now, so that is what I'm going to do. So thank you for watching. I shall see you guys next time. Later.